Hey guys, Evan's coming at you, and I am super excited to share with you this tip, or even secrets I can say that some of our clients have been using to get some phenomenal results during this time frame. Here's the deal, we get it. A lot of people right now are experiencing or beginning to come out of this place where our priorities are shifted. Before it's about how well we can do and how much we can accomplish, but right now it's about making sure we're safe, and our health is now becoming new wealth. You've heard people say it's more important now for you to take care of health than everything else. I think pre-COVID, the idea was like, oh, fitness is something cool, and if I have enough time I can go after it, and when the timing is right. But what we're seeing is that people are saying, no, I can't wait till the timing is right. I need to take care of my health in this time frame. You know, the challenge is that the resources available have totally, caused confusion in the marketplace. And it's really challenging to go, okay, well, this is my house, this is my workplace, this is my schoolhouse for my kids, this is my rest place, it's also my gym, and so there's been a lot of frustration, and we've watched how some people have gone in and beginning to get into the fad dieting and all those kind of things just to find a way to get rid of this COVID weight and get back on track. So I want to talk to you guys a little bit about a couple different topics. And the first one really is this idea of capacity and what it is, right? And, I think I love Alyssa's example, the greatest, when she says it's this emotional space in order to manage different things that you're doing in your life. Like, how much room do you have? And it's not quantified per se in a fixed measurement, but more in a like concept measurement. Give you an example. You have a list of things that you need to accomplish, and then you find out, or your child has a baby, so now you're a new grandfather or grandmother. Well, your capacity took a hit, or COVID-19 happens. Your capacity takes a hit. Your ability to kind of manage all the things that are available have gone through this change or shift. And before, the idea was, hey, if I have enough self-discipline, I can resist the things that I need to do to lose weight, and I can force myself to do the things I need to do to get in shape, and that's going to cause me to be successful. But the reality is that capacity no longer is a thing. A lot of times we looked at before, and in this pre-COVID world, we looked at what skill sets do you have. What's your capability? How well could you do the things you were looking to do? And we're realizing that it doesn't matter how skilled you are. It doesn't matter if you know how to exercise, if you've tried eating well before. All those things, are like non-factors in today's world, because your world is completely different. So what I'm going to share with you is how these clients are using these tools in order to become really, really successful. And when we look at willpower, we've always looked at it as how strong am I? Like, how much can I resist? I have great willpower. We look at fit people and we're like, man, they have such great willpower. They're able to resist the chocolate chip cookies or the bowl of ice cream or that burger and fries, and they're able to resist decadence. And I don't know about you, but if you're anything like most of our clients and myself, when you've gone on the journey, you said, I'm not going to eat that anymore. I love it. I always say, I'm not going to eat chocolate chip cookies anymore, or I'm not going to eat junk food anymore. I'm not going to eat, really good, juicy steaks anymore. Or I'm not going to eat bread. And we put all these willpower things in there. And then what happens? Maybe for a couple of weeks, we're able to withstand, but then at some point, boom, we fall right back into the previous plan. And when under stress, we default to our like preset nature, or what we've been like programmed to do. And so what I'm going to share with you this next little bit is not just what the tip is, but how do you use that tip so you can take care of your health and maintain control in your life. And I think that's the big thing that people are experiencing right now, is this loss of control. We can't control when our state reopens. We can't control when we go where and what we wear in different places. It's nice some days, and we're all covered up in masks, breathing our own, carbon dioxide. So all the updates each week is like, maybe we'll open this week, maybe we'll not. Produces so much anxiety and so much stress. And for the leaders out there who are responsible for other people, then this is multiplied, because not only do you have to be concerned with yourself and your family, but your staff and your team and those you're responsible for. So I've been talking long enough. Let me share with you what this tip is that's going to really help you get to your goal. And that tip is a routine. Now, I know you're like, oh, Evans, that's like super easy and simple. No. I want you to understand, it's not about how much you know. It's not about even how strong you are. It's about what systems do you have in place to allow you to succeed. So if you think about it, it's like when you get up in the morning, what is your routine? Like, what do you do automatically? When we were children, our parents pounded into us certain routines. You have to wash your face, you have to brush your teeth, you have to take a shower, you have to do certain things. And they became like non-negotiables. And because we had this routine set up, then we were able to be successful in that particular thing. And so as you look at your fitness journey, I would say don't be overly consumed at this point with all the skills you need, how much discipline do you have and everything else. Do you have the platform? Do you have the foundation in place to have a very successful fitness journey? And as we studied all these thousands of people that were successful, and we looked at the people who were not successful, what we realized is the ones that were really successful, they had a rocking routine. And it wasn't that they were super disciplined. It's just what they did. I'll give you a couple examples. You go grocery shopping. All right. We know that people who have the highest level of success in their fitness and nutrition, they shop the grocery aisles. I mean, not the aisles, the outskirts, the perimeters of the grocery store. That's just their routine. They literally can go into the grocery store and go left or right and make a big circle. The people who have the least amount of success, they're going in and out every single aisle. Then you go, Evans, I need toilet paper. After all, this is, COVID time. And we get it. You do need some of those things. But then, what's your pattern? What's your system in order to get there? So there's little things like shopping the perimeter. What's your routine on when do you plan your food? Do I just eat throughout the course of the day, and as I feel hungry, I go after food? Or do I have a routine set up? I've studied and watched not just clients, but other people who have been very successful, and they eat on a rhythm, almost like how you do with children. And they have a routine set up that, it's this time, it's feeding time. I'm going to eat at this time. And because they have this routine set in place, then that's what they do at that time. It's no thinking about it. It's no different than having a bedtime routine. But if you have these little things in place, it's like, when's the best time? And people always ask, number one question, what's the best time to exercise? And you pull up a lot of scholarly articles, and there's all kinds of debate on, should you work out, in the morning? Should you work out at night? Should you eat before you work out? Should you not eat before you work out? But the reality is that if I'm not working out consistently, none of that really matters. What I need to do is establish what is the time frame that's going to be booked into my calendar that I'm going to work out, period. Like, this is my workout time. Uncompromisable. Nobody gets to get an interruption during that time. Hey, can you do this at this time? I wish I could have another appointment. And when people schedule in their health, because like we said, your health is now the new wealth. If you're unhealthy, there's challenges right now in your existence. So because health is wealth, you have to put now health as such a high priority, where it was a luxury item a couple of weeks back. So as you look at this routine, how does your routine support your health? And it could be something as small as saying, you know what, this is my workout time. Whether I do a great workout or a sucky workout, I'm going to work out at this time. And anybody who's been successful, that's what they've done. They've had workouts where like, man, I killed it today. And the other workouts was like, I don't know what was right, what was wrong. I did not like that at all. But that was my workout today. Tomorrow we go and slay the dragon again. And it's a simple tip, but I'm telling you, it's the foundations. It's these little baby steps that we're seeing that people are using. And they're like, boom, Evans now have control. Man, Evan's not able to get this shit back. We're having such success stories. You'll see a testimonial video in the next week or two with a gentleman who manages a major corporation. And through coaching and establishing these routines, as the world was shifting and his company was going through all kinds of things, he was able to regain control, success, and now he's powering towards the new goals in this time frame. And he's a local hero for us. And the reason why is because he got grounded in this time frame. So we look at, what's my morning routine? How's your morning routine set up to help you succeed? Are you taking care of your mental health in the morning? Are you priming your day, or are you just letting the day come at you? One of the worst things you could do is get up in the morning and turn on the TV. Now you're allowing someone else to control your thought pattern for the day, but you can get up and preset, what are my plans for today? How do I want today to go? And I wish I would drop something that was like, oh heavens, that's super hard to do. But there's a great book called The Slight Edge by Joel Osteen, not Osteen, the preacher, Osteen. And he talks about in this book how it's the small micro changes. It's that slight edge that determines if someone's going to be successful or not. It's called the slight edge principle. And so this routine is like the most important thing you can possibly do to meet your success goals. It's, what's your routine on Sunday? Are you cooking food at a certain time? Or it's just kind of like, hey, when I get a chance to. All these little things, it's like, if you preset, you can literally take a calendar. I got the whiteboard, so I love my board. Here's my eraser. This is what I would do. You want to win and crush your goals this year? This is exactly what you do. You open up your calendar, whether it's a Google Calendar, whatever it is, and you have Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, right? Boom. Sunday to Saturday, And then what you do is you preset what are the important things to you. You set your priorities, and then you say, you know what? These are my priorities. So for me, it's like my faith. It's my family. I got to go to work, so I need to go to my job or business. What else I do? I have some like leisure stuff in here. I have my health is a huge priority of mine. And we're seeing health grow higher and higher in this scale right now. And then you start plotting them in. Okay, well, from this time, we're going to do virtual church because we're not going to church right now. All right, so we'll do virtual church from this time to this time. Okay, boom, faith is checked. Family, what's my scheduled family time? So we have scheduled family time on our schedule. So we have family stuff, business, and I plot out what are my business blocks. When do I need to be at work? Health, and I put in, this is my health time. And I put my health time in there. If I have mental health, I'll put my reading, and I put my reading time in here. And then what I don't have to do is think. See, the hardest challenge that I've experienced as I go through this journey is thinking about what do I want to eat? Do I want this? Do I want that? If it's already pre-planned, I just eat it. I'm an adult. You know what I mean? I'm not a 12-year-old. I can say, okay, this is what I plan to do today. And then I can discipline myself to it. I'm going to eat another meal in about 3-4 hours anyway. And if I want to change what I want, I can still change. I have control over those pieces. By having a schedule of this is when this happens, helps me regain control of the wheels. But if I have too many choices, the worst thing to do is give a kid, $1 and put them in a penny store. Well, they don't have penny stores anymore. When I was a kid, they used to have these stores you go to, you can use a penny and buy candy. Well, you had $1, man. You was like the richest guy in the town. So that's the worst thing you do for a child. He's in there for an hour trying to make a decision. But if you give him, 1 or 2 choices, he always picks 1 or 2 choices. So if you do those little things for yourself in this place of chaos, lack of control, ambiguity, you can now say, you know what, I can own it, because your health is so important right now. It's ridiculous. And it's not so important just for like vanity and just being alive. There are so many people that are responsible because of you. Like, you're responsible for so many people's lives and well-being. And there's so many people that are looking to you to lead them. The last thing they need to be doing is concerned with, are you going to make it? How healthy you are? What were you just recently diagnosed with? Why doesn't this work? And why am I in pain all the time? We have this great testimonial of this lady. She will be in this week's newsletter, and how she's saying how she's loving remote training. There's no commute that she has to do with it. and she's feeling stronger than ever. Her mom fell because she's taking care of her mom, and she was able to just pick up her mom. She was like, I didn't realize till afterwards when I was thinking about it that how strong I got during this time, because I was never known to have upper body strength. I was like, game on. But what is it? 3 times a week, 30 minutes. Boom. 3 times a week, 30 minutes, like clockwork. And we're seeing people have some major gains in that time frame. So I wanted to share, that's a huge nugget, right? It's, how do I have a routine that serves me? And the second piece is understanding that willpower is a battery. And that's the reason why you need to have a great routine, because what your routine should do is allow you to trump willpower. Meaning, there's a scripture in the Bible that says, how do you put fire in your bosom and don't get burned? Right. So I can't, put down this Texas Pete hot sauce and not burn my tongue. You're just not going to do it. So what you have to do is not put fire in your bosom. You have to do the next thing, which is just important as a routine, which is avoid. And we should be somewhat conditioned to avoid right now, because that's the world we're in, right? We're in this avoidance world. We're in this world where we're like, hey, avoid so-and-so and avoid so-and-so and stay away from this person and stay away from that person. And, so that's what you should be doing. You should go, okay, what are the things I need to avoid so I don't have to resist? And I know I've talked about this before, but think about how your routine is. And is your routine structured for you to avoid? Meaning, like, I'm happily married and excited about that, right? But I also have a routine that structures me to not have to worry about avoiding. I leave work and I go straight home. I don't visit anybody else's home. I go to my home, And similarly with your health, it'd be no different than having a peanut allergy. You say, Evans, I love cookies. And I'm like, all right, cool. And I flying the best chefs from France, and they make this, bakers, from France, and they make this awesome cookie and has nuts in it. You're not going to be like, well, you don't even need willpower. You go, if I eat that, I'm going to die. So you just don't eat it. And so if you set these avoidance rules, and don't say, I'm trying not to do this, I'm really working on this, just I don't. And you'll see that you will start respecting yourself, and others will respect you when it comes to your health. And it's an amazing thing. This morning I woke up and I set a preset time to wake up so I can do my morning meditations and everything else before I go on my day. And the alarm went off, for me to wake up. And I was like, I hit the off button, and I was really tempted to go back to sleep. But I said, Evans, you respect yourself too much to go back to sleep. Why? Because you're the guy who set the alarm. You have to honor your own words to get up out of the bed. And begrudgingly, I got up, but I felt real good about myself about doing it. So I would highly recommend in this time frame, you set your routine and then you set your rules. And with your rules, it's you avoid things. What don't you do? Not won't you do? Because you can get convinced. You're like, oh, I can't eat that right now. Well, I can convince you to eat it. But if you say, I don't eat that, I don't do this, I don't drink during the week, whatever it is, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not the alcohol police. But once you identify those pieces, that's where you're going to start seeing some major momentum kick in, because, fat loss happens. And I'm actually talking with a buddy of mine. I'm going to reach out to her and see if she can come on one of these, talk about the most effective ways to lose fat. She's a registered dietitian. She's to work here for a little bit. And that's all I'm telling you. But, it's the best way to do things is you got to remove that thing from your home, because you're there all the time. And the kitchen is right there. It's like right there. Like, you could just, before you go to the bathroom is the kitchen, so those are 2 tips. It's not super challenging. It's just what it is challenging to set it up, and so I recommend, how do you set it up? You baby step it. Some people have the ability through their personality to make a 90-degree turn or 180-degree turn and keep on going. But for a lot of us, we've been going down this road for a while. So you may have to take some things off one edge and some things off the others with your routine. You may say, you know what? I can't work on my morning routine, my night routine, and my shopping routine and all these other things. But what's the one thing I can do? Can I work on what I buy in the grocery store? And as you start building out your routines and couple it, like superset it with your what you won't do or what you don't do, then you're gonna see exponential growth. Lastly, as I wrap up here, I just want to share with you, what does exponential success look like? What does crushing your goals look like in this time frame? One, probably 90% of the people that we've started to talk to have gained weight during this time frame. Stress levels are higher than ever. There's too many uncontrollables. And sometimes because we naturally can emotionally eat, we know that carbohydrates and fat do produce these great feel good emotions, and allows us to kind of, decompress a little bit. But the other side is just, we're more sedentary than we are. So all these are playing things in there. So what would success and crushing it looks like? It means that you've now got back on track. Your stress levels are decreasing. You're finding ways to manage. You're leading your family a little bit better. Your energy is up. The scale is going to start trickling down a little bit after that. You're sleeping better, and you're not worrying as much. And then for some of our people, I'm telling you, we got a whole group of people right now. It's so exciting. It's the fat loss. It's their jeans. They're like, oh, I could wear these jeans. Now, can't go too many places with them, but at least you can wear them. You know what I mean? And they're emptying out their closet. They're doing these little steps to meet their goals. It doesn't happen overnight. Just like any change, the weather doesn't go from like 30 to 80 overnight. It normally takes about 4 to 6 weeks. And that's the same way with your goals. You're going to take about 4 weeks, and then you're going to look back and be like, this routine thing really works for me. And my body's changing. And in between there, you're going to have more energy and everything else. So super excited to, share with you guys a little bit. Hopefully it's added some value to you, but comment, let me know how you're doing and if it made some sense and if there was some value add in there. And we're going to continue to share more and more things to help support your goals. So again, just as we wrap up, just so you have it for you, what you need is to avoid, and establish a healthy routine. And that's going to help you crush your goals in 2020.